Hello, I'm Drew, Application Engineer with SKF. Welcome to the Baker DX DC testing video. Now we will perform the DC test. I'm going to select the DC test icon at the bottom of the screen. And when that's highlighted, we'll see the DC test screen come up. I'm going to select the appropriate tester, whether it's a DX or a DX with a power pack. In this case, just the DX. For my circuit under test, I want to select the appropriate insulation type, whether it's thermal setting or thermoplastic. In this case, my winding is thermal setting. And then we have the ability to enter the temperature, humidity, both or neither. In this case, I just want to enter temperature so that I will have an appropriate temperature compensation of my readings. My winding temperature is 22 degrees C. I'll hit done. Now that will apply the 22 degrees C to my measurement. Now I'm ready to test. I'll initiate the test by pushing the push to test button. We'll see the leads energized light flash here on the screen, as well as the LED lights light up near the leads. If I want to lock the push to test button, I can push this lock to PTT icon, and it'll say lock. It'll turn yellow, and I'll see PTT locked. I can release this switch. Now I can just ramp the voltage. Initially we'll ramp in slow mode, which is indicated by one chevron. And if I want to ramp at a faster rate, I can click it again, and I'll get 2 chevrons, and you can see the rate is much faster now. Once I achieve test voltage, I'll stop ramping and press the Megaohm PI button. And that will start a timer associated with, first with the Megaohm test, which is set at 1 minute. So 60 seconds is set for the Megaohm test. Now to see the current, I want to push the I- button to reduce the current scale until I can see the current decaying as expected. Right? So the blue indicates the voltage is being held constant now. The current is decaying away over time. When the minute timer elapses, the insulation resistance value will populate here under IR for insulation resistance, next to the Megaohm units. And then it will proceed into a polarization index test, which we'll see shortly. All right, so now the Megaohm timer is completed, and now it says PI test, and it added an additional 540 seconds for a full 10-minute PI. The insulation resistance value has been populated here, 88,333 megohms at 22 degrees Celsius. And again, the current will just continue to dissipate for this entire duration. Upon completion of the PI, we'll ramp to the step voltage test next, but now we just wait. Okay, so now that the PI test is complete and we're ready to perform a step voltage HiPot test, I will just increase the ramp rate, or increase the voltage by bringing over the voltage control knob. See the voltage ramp. We're going to go to 1,000 volts. And again, we're in fast mode right now. Once I achieve 1,000 volts, which is my first step, I'll click Step, and that will put a mark in the data, as well as start a timer, in this case for 60 seconds for this particular step. And we can see the current had gone up during the ramping cycle. Now it's coming back down and polarizing at the new voltage level, the new voltage step. Okay. If we want to reduce the ramp rate, which I'll do on the next step, I'll just select that again, and then I'll change the chevron to 1 chevron. The rates are set in the user control setting and are customizable for both slow and fast ramp. Okay, and now we're ready to go to our next step, which will be 1,500 volts. And I will ramp. So you can see the charging current increase. I'll go ahead and increase the current scale. You can see that during the ramping cycle. Once I get to 1,500 volts, I'll stop ramping. And then you see the current drops off. Of course, I want to hit the step again. This is my set a new timer for the next step. And we'll allow that to to time out. Now upon completion of this step, we're going to ramp to the final step, which will be 2,000 volts. And instead of hitting step on the last step, we're going to hit DC HiPot. Okay, I'm going to ramp to the final test voltage of 2,000 volts. And on this step, we're going to push the DC HiPot, so it'll record the DC HiPot value after 1 minute. Okay, now the DC HiPot test complete. To stop the test, we want to push the lock PTT button. And that will discharge. We saw the window saying it was discharging the leads. Once the voltage drops below a minimal value, that window goes away. And now we want to make sure that we save the data by clicking the save icon here. And it says save to the active folder and record. Since I've already selected the folder and record that I want, I'll click yes. And the data is saved.